This audio is adapted from the article The Exhausting Art of Fitting In by Sami Bsoul. You are the most talented actor you know. You star in 1,000 daily performances. You play the role of the happy friend, the capable employee, the put-together child, the engaging date, the interesting stranger in the coffee shop line. You have a wardrobe of masks for every occasion, and you swap them so effortlessly you hardly even feel it anymore. You've gotten so good at it, the world applauds. You get the laughs, the likes, the invitations. You fit in, you belong. But here's the question that haunts you in the silence. In the split second after you close the car door or shut down your laptop, if I'm always on stage, who am I when the curtain falls? This article is not about burning down the theater. It's not about quitting the play. This article is an invitation to meet your co-star, the one who's been waiting in the wings this whole time, the one who knows all the lines but never got a microphone, the one who doesn't need a script because their truth is already written. This is for the part of you that is tired of applause and is starting to crave something rarer and more real: peace. We're going to talk about the exhaustion of being fine. We're going to explore the quiet loneliness of a crowded room. We're going to ask why joy feels like a guest instead of a resident in your own life. This isn't a list of instructions. It's a series of mirrors. It's a collection of questions meant to be felt, not just answered. You won't find a single should in these pages. You will only find invitations to listen, to question, to remember, to finally introduce yourself to the person you were always meant to be. The performance can continue. The world might even need it. But you deserve to know that there's so much more to you than the part you've been assigned. This is for you if you're ready to step off the stage and into your own life. The most important role is waiting. You're at a party, or maybe it's just a group hang. The conversation flows, laughs are shared, and you're right there in the middle. You crack the right joke. You nod in all the right places. From the outside, it looks effortless, totally in it. But inside, there's a tiny hum of static, a quiet buzz behind your eyes, a feeling like you're watching yourself on a screen. You're performing a version of you that works here for these people. And for a second you wonder, if everyone here compared notes on who you are, would their stories even match? How many versions of you exist? The group chat you, the family dinner you, the first date you, the Instagram story you, and so on. And if you're all of them, then who is the one sitting quietly in your room when the phone is off and the door is closed? That feeling, the quiet emptiness after the social media post is liked, after the hangout is over, after another interaction has been navigated flawlessly, that's the bill coming due. The cost of fitting in is often a little piece of yourself. It's like your personality is a playlist you're constantly curating for other people. For this friend, you play the indie deep cuts to seem cool. For them, the hype anthem to be the fun one. For your parents, the classic hits they recognize. But when you're finally alone, headphones on, what song actually feels like yours? What track would you play purely for the joy of hearing it, with no one else to impress? Do you even remember anymore? You've probably chased that joy everywhere. Scrolling through travel pics, thinking, maybe if I go there. Seeing friends laughing, thinking, maybe if I hang out more. Buying the thing, eating the thing, watching the thing. It feels good for a minute, but it doesn't stick. It doesn't fill the cup. That kind of joy is borrowed, temporary, external. Real, lasting joy isn't a place to visit, a thing to buy, or a filter to apply. It's the feeling of being completely at home in your own skin, the relief of shedding an uncomfortable costume you didn't even realize you were still wearing. That ability to mold yourself, to read a room and become what it needs. That's not a flaw, it's a superpower. Empathetic, adaptable, smart. But every superpower has a kryptonite. Here, the kryptonite is using it so much that you forget who you are without it. The flaw isn't the skill, it's pleasing others at the expense of pleasing yourself. Building homes for everyone else while you sleep on the street. Quick, don't overthink it. What are 3 things you genuinely love about yourself? Not your hair, not your job, not your taste in music. Something deeper. Were your first thoughts, ugh, this is hard. I don't know. This feels arrogant. That hesitation, that cringe, is proof. The muscle hasn't been exercised. Telling yourself you're kind isn't arrogant if it's true. Telling yourself you're resilient isn't bragging, it's acknowledging a fact. Arrogance builds yourself above others. Self-awareness simply sees yourself clearly, without apology. You don't have to announce it to the world. This isn't for your Instagram bio. This is for you. The you that's there when everyone else leaves the room. Start there. Talk to yourself like you'd talk to your best friend. What would you tell them they're amazing at? What strength do you see in them that they might not see in themselves? Now, turn that voice inward. The goal isn't to never adapt or be thoughtful again. The goal is to have a solid, real, unshakable core you to come back to. So you can still go to the party and have fun, but now you choose which parts to share. You don't change who you are to get in the door. The most radical act of self-love isn't a bubble bath or an affirmation. It's finally, after all this time, introducing yourself to yourself. And maybe, for the first time, truly liking the person you meet. It's late. The world outside has hushed, but the glow from your screen paints your face in cold, flickering light. A curated parade of lives marches past your eyes. A friend laughing on a rooftop, a splash of turquoise water from a vacation in Greece. The perfectly plated steak of an anniversary dinner from a couple you barely know. You're not jealous. Not exactly. It's something quieter. A hollow tug behind your ribs. A feeling that you're on the outside of a beautifully lit window, peering into a party you weren't invited to. So you scroll and scroll and scroll. Each flick of the thumb is a tiny hit of connection, a temporary loan of belonging. It almost fills the space. Almost. Then you lower the phone. The screen goes black, reflecting your own tired eyes. And in the sudden, thick silence, the glow inside you fades faster than the one on your screen. The performance is over. You're alone, in the dressing room of your own life. Here's the silent, screaming secret they never post about. This isn't just about keeping up. It's about checking out. For 20, 30, 60 seconds at a time, you escape the most pressing reality of all, being you. You don't have to sit with the quiet ache of your own thoughts. You can just move into their world. Their story, their flawless highlight reel. It works like candy. Quick, sharp sugar on the tongue. An instant spark in the dark. But sugar burns fast, and when it's gone, the craving is deeper. The hunger is more profound. So what if you changed the question? What if you stopped asking, why is their world so much brighter than mine, and started asking, what actually nourishes my soul? Here's the truth, raw and unfiltered. Likes are borrowed validation. Follows are rented attention. The only thing you will ever truly, irrevocably own is the relationship you have with yourself in this quiet room. And if that relationship feels awkward, strained, or like a conversation between strangers, no rooftop photos, no perfect sunset captions, no borrowed joy will ever make it right. So tonight, just tonight, not forever, try this. Put the phone down 5 minutes earlier. Let the silence settle around you like fresh snow. It will be uncomfortable. Sit with it. And in that stillness, ask yourself the one question you've been scrolling to avoid. Not, what do they think of me? But, what do I think of me? The question comes, casual as a breeze. You good? And like a seasoned actor, you slip into the role. You know your lines by heart. A practiced smile, a convincing nod, the quick, effortless, yeah, I'm fine. Maybe you even throw in a little laugh for good measure. The perfect sound effect to sell the story. Scene closed, curtain down, you nailed it. Nobody suspects a thing. But here's the part of the performance no one in the audience sees. The quiet, hollow ache that blooms in your chest the moment the word fine leaves your mouth. The instant, cold regret, as if you just reached out and slammed a door on your own heart. Let's be clear. You didn't tell this lie to protect them. You did it to protect you, to shield yourself from the terrifying risk of being seen as too much, too dramatic, or too needy. So instead of opening up, you perform the smallest magic trick in the world. You shrink. You fold the vast, complicated universe of how you actually feel into a tiny, harmless, 4-letter word. Fine, we should call it what it really is: invisible armor. It's brilliant. It keeps curious eyes at a safe distance. It keeps you from having to translate the messy, chaotic, beautiful parts of yourself that you're still learning to love. But here's the truth about armor. It's incredibly heavy. And if you wear it for too long, in your room, with your friends, even alone in the mirror, you start to forget the weight of it. You forget what it feels like to take a full, deep, unarmored breath. So what if, just once, you let a single buckle come loose? What if, when the breeze of that question comes again, you didn't perform? What if, instead of the well-rehearsed fine, you offered a sliver of the script you actually wrote? Something like, honestly, today's been a bit rough. Or even, I don't know, but not great. This isn't a confession. It's not a breakdown. It's not dumping your pain on someone else. It's just truth. A single, tiny crack in the facade. And that's all that's needed. Just a crack for the light to get in. Here's the scary, liberating part. When you stop saying fine, some people won't know what to do. They might falter. They might change the subject. That's okay. Their reaction is not your responsibility. But the right ones, the keepers, they won't just hear you. They'll lean in. They will see that tiny crack of light and they will not look away. They will hold that silent, sacred space with you. And in that moment, you will feel a terrifying, exhilarating, and profound realization. You were never as alone as that heavy armor made you feel. The table is set with a familiar geometry. The smells from the kitchen are a time machine. You slide into your usual chair, the wood grooved from years of the same motion, and without a single conscious thought, you slip into your skin. But it's not your skin. It's a well-worn costume. Maybe yours is the costume of the peacemaker, deftly navigating landmines of old arguments with a careful question about the potatoes. Maybe it's the cloak of the success, polished and presented, your achievements a pleasant topic to be passed around the table like the gravy. Or maybe it's the armor of the rebel, sitting defiantly in the uniform of a black hoodie, your silence a protest against a play you never auditioned for. The script is etched into the air itself. You know your lines before the words leave your mouth. You laugh at the expected beat. You avoid the third rail of that one topic. And that's the surreal magic of this room. You can have your own apartment, your own job, your own life where you are a fully formed, complex human, but cross this threshold and the air changes. The gravity shifts. An invisible director calls action. And the old version of you, the one they all recognize and expect, steps back into the spotlight. It's not always a prison. There's a comfort in the rhythm, a safety in the predictable arcs. You know your cues, your exits, your role in the family story. It's a dance you learned by heart so long ago, your body sways to it without your mind's permission. But sometimes, mid-laugh, you hear the echo of it, and you realize the laugh isn't yours. It's the laugh of your character. Sometimes you feel the costume chafe. The lines you're given feel 2 sizes too small for the person you've become. The weight of a role is that the longer you play it, the more you forget what your own voice sounds like when it's not reciting lines. Here's the gentle revolution. You don't have to burn the entire script. There might be scenes in it you truly love, traditions that feel like home, jokes that are your shared language. But maybe, just maybe, you get to be the co-author now. You can ad-lib. You can change a line to something that sounds more like the you of today, not the you of 15 years ago. You can choose a moment, just one, to go off book, to surprise them, to surprise yourself. Because this isn't a rerun. It's your life. And you are allowed to edit, revise, and finally step into the role you were always meant to play. Yourself. So tonight, just notice, when does the performance begin? And who are you when the curtain finally falls? The night is over. The final curtain has fallen. The outfit, now just fabric, is draped over a chair. The screen is faded to black, its buzz replaced by a ringing silence. The crowd, their laughter, their opinions, their energy has vanished, leaving only the echo of their presence. And there you are, finally, utterly alone, standing in the quiet witness of the mirror. Your eyes go first to the evidence, the hair that rebelled against you, the skin that tells a more honest story than any filter ever could, the body that houses you, yet never feels quite like the ones designed for display. It's a familiar audit, a checklist of lacks, but then a question cuts through the static. Maybe it's a voice in your head, maybe it's a memory of something you read. It asks, simple and direct, what are 3 things you genuinely love about yourself? Not your resume, not your taste in music, something deeper, something essential. And then it happens. Silence. Not a peaceful silence. A void. Your mind, so quick with critiques, now flickers and stalls like a faulty neon sign. Ugh, this is hard. I don't know. This feels arrogant. That immediate recoil, that visceral cringe, that is the entire point. It's not proof that there's nothing to love. It's proof that the pathway to that knowledge is overgrown from neglect. You've spent years building a muscle for self-criticism. Of course, the muscle of self-regard is weak and trembling. You can recite your flaws like a mother tongue, but ask to speak the language of your own strengths? You are rendered mute. Let's be clear. Arrogance is building yourself up to feel above others. Self-awareness is simply seeing yourself clearly without turning away. Now, close your eyes. Picture your best friend standing right where you are. They just asked you the same question. What would you tell them? You wouldn't hesitate. Your voice would be gentle, certain. You have a resilient heart. You've survived storms you never thought you'd weather. You are deeply kind. You make people feel like they belong. Your laugh is genuine. It changes the energy in a room. You would see their light immediately. You would speak their truth without a hint of shame. So the most radical, quiet question you can ask yourself tonight is not, what's wrong with me? It's this. What if I became my own best friend? You don't have to post it. You don't have to shout it. This isn't for anyone else's consumption. This is for the you that exists when the door is locked, the notifications are off, and the performance is finally completely over. The script is simple. The lines are the same ones you'd offer without thought to someone you love. The only thing left to do is look yourself in the eye and finally, truly mean them for yourself. Let's call it what it is. A superpower, you have it. You feel the subtle currents in a room, the shift in tone, the unspoken tension, the exact moment a joke is needed to break the ice. You can map the emotional landscape of a conversation in seconds. It's a form of social sonar. It makes you magnetic, charming, indispensable. You are the glue, the bridge builder, the diplomat. You can fit anywhere, smooth any edge, become exactly what the situation needs. This isn't weakness. It is a profound and rare strength. It is empathy in motion. But every superpower has its kryptonite, a vulnerability that can bring the hero to their knees. And the most dangerous kryptonite is the kind that looks exactly like the power itself. The danger is not in using your gift. The danger is in using it on an endless loop, for an audience of everyone but yourself. When you spend your days shape-shifting to fit the contours of other people's expectations, you risk forgetting your own original form. The constant calibration to external settings slowly deletes the internal ones. Your empathy, your greatest gift, becomes a quiet act of self-erasure. Your flexibility becomes a gradual disappearance. You are so busy building beautiful, welcoming homes for everyone else that you forget to save a room for yourself. You are the architect of everyone's comfort, left with nowhere to lay your own head. And that deep, soul-level exhaustion you feel at the end of the day, it's not from the talking or the socializing, it's from the weight. The crushing weight of carrying every single version of you that you've performed for everyone else. Here's the truth they don't tell you. Your power doesn't diminish when you turn it inward. It evolves. Adaptability isn't meant to erase your core. It's meant to be the flexible, resilient armor that protects it. It's the difference between a chameleon that only reflects its surroundings and one that knows its true color, using its ability to navigate the world without ever being lost in it. So the most radical question you can ask yourself today is not, how can I make them more comfortable? It's this. Where can you practice pleasing yourself first, before pleasing the room? The core you? The door is closed. The world, for a moment, is held at bay. The only light is the soft glow from a lamp. The only sound is the hum of your own breathing. No one is watching. No one is performing a review in their head. No one is expecting a performance, a punchline, or a perfectly filtered version of you. You press play, but not on the algorithm's suggestion, not on the playlist built for a mood you're supposed to be in. You press play on the secret soundtrack of your soul, the one that feels like a home you forgot you had. And in that space, something unlocks. A tension you've been carrying in your jaw, your shoulders, the pit of your stomach. It just melts. It's a relief so profound, it feels less like an emotion and more like remembering something essential. A weight is lifted, one you had grown so used to carrying, you forgot it was ever there. The masks, the costumes, the expertly crafted characters you play for every audience, they are finally off duty. They can rest in the closet. For this moment, they are not needed. This isn't about quitting the world. It's not about rejecting connection. It's about discovering the anchor point. It means you can still laugh at the party, still read the room with your incredible skill, still be all the things the world needs. Because you know, with unshakable certainty, that beneath all those layers of adaptation, there is a core. The core you isn't built for applause. It doesn't trend or seek validation. It is quiet. It is steady. It is the deepest, most honest root of who you are. It doesn't need to be loud to be real. It just is. And in the gentle silence of this room, here is the only question that truly matters. When the music of everyone else's opinion fades, what melody is left playing in your heart? And in the stillness, when all the actors have left the stage, who is the one that remains? Introducing yourself to yourself. The performance is over. The audience has left the theater of your mind. The scrolling, the curating, the constant low-grade hum of adjustment. It all fades to a blessed, unfamiliar silence. And there you are, stripped of the filters, unburdened by the masks, standing in the quiet, stark truth of your own presence. No applause is waiting. No reviews are being written. For the first time in a long time, you truly look. Not with the critic's eye that catalogs flaws, not with the comparer's gaze that measures against others. You look with the gentle curiosity of an archaeologist, discovering a lost city that was, incredibly, their own home. You see the lines on your face, not as flaws, but as a map of every laugh that was real and every storm you survived. You notice the habits, the way you tap your finger when you think, the silly dance you do when no one is watching, the tiny, uncurated fingerprints of a soul. You witness the small, essential things that make you, you. It's awkward at first. A strange, vulnerable silence. It feels like meeting a stranger whose handshake is oddly familiar. And then it hits you. This isn't a stranger. This person has been here the entire time. A quiet tenant in the house of your body, waiting in the wings of your own life. Patient beyond measure while you played every other role but your own. The most radical act of self-love isn't a scented candle or a mantra you post on your mirror. It's this, liking the person you meet. Not because they are finished, not because they are perfect or impressive or have achieved some external standard of worth, but simply because they are yours. The truest, most authentic artifact you will ever uncover. This is the moment the costumes lose their magic. The scripts turn to dust in your hands. The roar of the outside world becomes a distant murmur, unable to compete with the clear, certain voice that now speaks from within. And this leaves you with the quietest, most impossible, most wonderful question of your life. If you finally stopped performing for a world of strangers, who would you be free to become? The answer was never hidden in the likes, the comments, or the applause of a fleeting crowd. It has always been here, in this room, in this silence, in the profound and simple act of finally allowing yourself to exist, without a single word of explanation. The only love that truly holds. You started this journey looking for answers in the wrong places. You scrolled for them, you performed for them. You polished your surface and edited your script, hoping that if you just got good enough, you would finally feel enough. But the answer was never out there. It was always in here, in the quiet, in the courage to finally meet yourself. And from that place of self-meeting comes the most terrifying, liberating question of all. If I stop performing, will I still be loved? Here is the truth, as steady as the ground beneath your feet. If someone really loves you, they will not love a performance. They will love the quiet, unedited, off-camera version of you, the one with messy hair and no punchlines. If someone really loves you, they will choose the weight of your truth over the lightness of your lie. They will see the burden you carry and ask to help you hold it, not pretend it isn't there. If someone really loves you, they will love the map of your skin, every inch of yourself, every curve, every line, every quiet place you've kept hidden, worthy of tenderness and desire, every secret story it tells, without ever asking you to edit a single page. If someone really loves you, they will learn the language of your heart. They will listen for the meanings behind your silences and understand the stories your eyes tell when your voice is tired. If someone really loves you, they will not judge your struggles. They will respect your strength for fighting them. They will see your scars not as flaws, but as proof that you have lived, you have felt, and you have healed. If someone really loves you, they will never ask you to shrink, to hide, or to pretend. They will want you to take up space. They will demand that you be seen, truly seen, in all your brilliant, imperfect, authentic glory. But this unconditional acceptance cannot start with them. It must start with you. You must be the first one to offer yourself this radical grace. You must be the first to look in the mirror and say, I see you, and I am not leaving. You must be the first to believe you are worthy of this kind of love, so you can stop accepting the cheap imitations. The greatest love affair you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. Every other relationship in your life is merely a reflection of it. So stop auditioning, stop rehearsing, stop performing. The world doesn't need another perfect performance. It needs the one thing that only you can offer, the breathtaking, messy, beautiful, and utterly unique gift of your true self. All you have ever needed is to be you, the real you, the whole you, the finally free you. Welcome home.